Dear students, in this module, we are going to talk about the demography or population of Pakistan. As you know, this is one of the important issues of Pakistani society. And demography and population are not only significant for Pakistan, but also for the global world as well. Pakistan is the world's fifth most populous country uh, by its population. The population of Pakistan is 207 million people as per the census of 2017. The natural growth rate is 21% persons per thousand population, and Pakistan is projected to become the fourth largest population in the world by 2050. So it means that our population is growing quite rapidly, and population wise, we are among the top five countries of the world. What population actually refers to, what it means when we talk about the population or demography, it refers to a group of people that share one or more characteristics and from which data can be gathered or analyzed. And a population is the collection of individuals that both belong to the same group or the species and live in the same geographic area. So, the number of inhabitants in a particular geographic area would determine its population size. So, population size is defined as the number of individuals present subjectively designated geographic range or geographic area. And Pakistan's population size is estimated to be 220 million in 2020. So it is an important characteristic of population with a significant implication for the population dynamics that we will try to understand in our upcoming modules. So the smaller populations have the greater risk of being extinct, and the national policy and planning greatly depends on the population size of the modern societies, because uh, when we are saying that the modern societies are dependent upon their population, it means that our whole country's planning, whether be it's economic planning, be it's political planning, or be it's the developmental planning, all that depends on the population size and also on the diversity and different characteristics of population. So here is the glimpse of the countries by their population size. As you can see in this infograph, that two giants are standing side by side population wise. The largest countries are the China and India. Then we have United States on the bottom, Indonesia on the top, and along with that we find Brazil and Pakistan. So these are the top most populous countries of the world, and the other countries are being spread around, as you can witness in this infograph. Another important characteristic of population is denoted by population density. It means that the size of population in relation to the amount of the space it occupies. Density is usually expressed as the number of individuals per unit area or volume. So, density is a dynamic characteristic that changes over time as individuals are added up or being removed from that particular area. So, maybe in a certain area we can find a large number of people, but as compared to the vast available area, those people can be insignificant. So, lower population density would reflect that there is a lot of geographic area available for that number of people, whereas the higher population density would reflect that uh, a lot of people are being concentrated or being congested in a very low or very small available area for the population. Here is the reflection uh, of population density. As you can see that some clusters are very dense while the others are very scarcely populated by the population. Age structure is another population characteristic which is very important to understand the dispersion and spread of the population, that what age cohort has more population as compared to the other. So not all individuals contribute equally to the population, and to characterize the different contribution by different individuals, they are sorted into the age specific categories which are called the age cohorts. So a profile of the size and age structure of the cohorts is created to determine the, for example, the reproductive potential or the working potential of the population. Hence, the current and future growth of population is then estimated, that if you have a reproductive or productive population of this quantity or of this ratio, then in the future, this population can be extrapolated into a larger number. And by that, we can extrapolate the population estimations. So as you would see that this population pyramid, usually such structured population is called the population pyramid. And this population pyramid represents the male and female distribution of Pakistan's population across different age groups or age cohorts. You will find on the extreme left side the column for the ages from 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14. As you would see that the more population is available in the lower age groups as compared to the higher age groups. So the higher the age cohort, the lesser would be the population. Fecundity is another factor to determine the population or demographic characteristic. It refers to the number of offspring and the individual is able the number of offsprings the individual is able to produce during a given period of time. It means the potential to reproduce is called fecundity. So fecundity is calculated in age-specific birth rates. And fecundity rate of Pakistan is 3.4 births per woman, and it can be expressed in the number of births per unit of time. For example, a potentially fecund female in Pakistan between the age of 15 and 45 can give birth to, on average, 3.5 children. So the number of births per 1,000 individuals is considered the unit of fecundity for a specific time period. And then we have the mortality rate. It is also measured for the individual deaths in the population, and mortality rate in Pakistan is 6.9 or around 7 persons per 1,000 people. Or in other words, we would say that in 1,000 live births, almost 7 people die. Mortality rate is measured as the number of individuals who die in a given period. The death rate in Pakistan has declined from 15.3 per 1,000 in 1970 to 6.9 per 1,000 in 2019. So you would see that the rate has almost 50% declined, the mortality or death rate During almost 50 years, during the past 50 years, the mortality rate of Pakistan is declined by 50%.